Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream, my first live stream of 2023, hooray! I'm starting to stream on Mondays now. I reached affiliate status last month, I think it was the end of November. It was a big surprise to me because I had sort of given up on trying because in order to fit streaming in, I settled for 2 days a week. That fit really nicely, just an hour a day, not too much, not overwhelming, and I was able to maintain that schedule. Well, it turns out that was enough. So, I decided to try to add 1 extra hour on Mondays. That's today, Monday. I'm going to do the Inktober52 challenge, which is Inktober all year, basically. 1 new prompt a week. And of course you don't have to do the prompt, but I like doing the prompt because it just gives me something to work with. And makes it, takes one decision away from me, because for me, Inktober is just practice doing ink work. So I have got all of my Inktober supplies that I got from the retreat last year. Oh, Exie, hello, Happy New Year! Oh, thank you for subscribing again. Yay! You're the best. You're seriously the best. I hope you've been having a great New Year so far. How's it been going for you? So let's open this bag up. This bag is not from the Inktober retreat. I just thought it was a nice bag. Oh, hold on. One of my dogs wants in here. Come on. Come on. Aha! Actually, it was both of my dogs. They must have heard me talking. They've gotten more confident at home because we've only had them for a few months. So they don't spend every single second with me anymore. But apparently, they're hearing me talking in my room and they're not in my room is enough to get them to come knock on the door. So, yep, Aoife just laid down in her bed over there. Chappie is laying down in the other bed. Okay. Anyway. Exie says, alright, thank you. Hope it's the same for you as well. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good start to the year. I mean, not perfect, but nothing's perfect. Right now I'm just trying to get through. I've got like a muscle spasm in my neck for some reason the last couple days, so I've been massaging it and taking medicine and everything, and so that kind of sucks, but it's not enough to keep me from streaming. Hooray! I hope to not miss any day. I hope I don't get sick this year, and I'll stream every day that's scheduled. That's something I was working on, was my planner. So I've got like my vacation schedule and everything, so I know exactly what days I'm going to stream on. So this is one of the items, one item. It's 2, but it's the same brand. Oh, I'm holding it a little too high. It's a brush pen, and actually, I had already opened one, so I'm going to switch. I just opened this one, so I don't need to open another one. I'll save this one. I'm going to open everything. Let's see, I'll put it over here. So this is kind of fun. I thought I would be saving this for Inktober this year, for October, Inktober. Okay, I need like a knife or something. It's not peeling off, it's staying on the back. I thought I'd be saving these all the way until October, but then I got the affiliate status, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And decided to do the Inktober52, so I'm getting to use these way sooner than I expected. Oh, Satoita, hi! Oh, okay. Delivering packages, so I can't see the screen very often. Okay, I'll try to keep it interesting for you. And not really going to do anything different than usual, but hopefully it'll be a nice accompaniment to your package delivery work. Good job. Keep up the good work. Okay, so I will just stack this trash so I can dispose of it properly later. So here's a couple brush pens. They're not double-ended, just single-ended. I think the difference is that they're bigger Yeah, one is bigger than the other. So there's a couple of those. And then another thing that we got was this, so these were Zebra brand. This is also Zebra, but it's got several things. Okay, I need something to cut this on the bottom. Several things in one here. It's got a bunch of mild liners, which I've never used for art, but I love them for planning and stuff because, as the name suggests, the color is mild, so it doesn't overpower what you've written with a pen or pencil or anything else. Unless, of course, you use a colored pencil and it's like the same exact color, but... okay. How the heck do I open this? There. Okay, so it's got the mild liners, but then it's also got some of their Sarasa fine liners, which I have never used before. I've used their Sarasa clicky gel pens, but I have never used these before, so this will be interesting. I think they come in a, yeah. So let's see, what all sizes are they? Does it say? Fine felt tip. So I guess it's just the one size with a bunch of colors. So this is all a bunch of colors to use. So I suppose my Inktober52 will be all these. This will be my color palette for the year. Oh, let me put this lower so you can actually see it. Boom. Another thing, and this is an interesting, I'm just grabbing and like throwing stuff. This is another interesting inclusion in this Inktober Retreat goodie pack because it's actually watercolor. But what the heck? Why not? I have never used these before, but they seem very interesting because it's watercolor. However, it's all flat. Oh, cool. It says these colors belong to. So, like, now you can see what I mean by flat. They're just little swatches, basically. Let's see. I don't think this is focusing. Come on, camera. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. So this looks really fun to use because just looking at this delicious watercolor paint sitting on here, the texture is so lovely. I can't wait to put some water on there. So it's pretty cool the way they've done this. I've not actually looked at this, but I can tell right away. They've got these little color markers so you can tell, okay, here is these colors. And then on this page, here's these colors. So you can flip quickly to the colors you want. Ooh, goodness. This says violet, but it's like yellow. It's like golden. I can't wait to try this. Oh, it's so exciting. The only thing with this, I don't know if I can use it in the sketchbook that I got. So I'm reserving my... Dang, this is tight. Okay, I can't get that back on. I'm not going to try. I'm reserving my decision for later to wait and see what the paper is like before I decide to use the watercolor on it because I don't want a bunch of wrinkly drawings. But it does have, this is a nice, I like this bigger tip on this water brush. Because with these water brushes, I've found with the smaller ones, the water doesn't necessarily come out that well, and you're like squeezing it all the time. And also, I find big brushes are more versatile because you can get, especially if you've got, this is a round tip, and it's tapered like this, so if you hold it straight up and down, you can still get a little teeny tiny line off of it, as long as you're very careful. So, this is a nice little kit because it comes with a nice brush and yeah, you could just put this in your bag, like put a little band around your watercolor book and have this. What is this stuff? I have not looked at the contents of this before. Let me look what this is. It's a drawing. Oh, I see. I won't read all of this, but it's like a letter to the person using it. What else is this? Another one? Ooh! There's like a postcard in here, like a blank postcard and some other stuff. Cool. Maybe the idea is that you watercolor on this. Well, I'll look at that more later. So even though it did come with this Inktober kit, I just don't know how well it will work with the sketchbook I got. And the sketchbook, which is the next thing in here and the last thing in here, is specifically Inktober branded from Moleskine. So it's got, like, branded as in literally has, it's like, okay, it's not like branded like with heat, but as close as you can get without actually being branded. It's got the Inktober. I'm rubbing my finger on it because it's like embossed. So it's like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna show it. I don't know if you can tell. It's not just printed on there. It's like you can feel the ridges. So I've been holding off opening this. I love sketchbooks and stuff. I have way too many. So it was very hard not to just open this, just to open it and feel the paper and enjoy just holding a sketchbook, not actually putting anything in it. But now I can open it. Hooray! Earlier than I thought. Oh, that's so cool. I could not tell with this plastic on. But look at that. You could see look at this cool texture they've got going on, as if there's spilled ink on this book wrap. Some on the back too? Yeah. That's really cool. Huh. It says some hashtags on the back here. Okay. Let's take this off. Ah, yeah, it goes all the way, even on the inside, little ink splotch looking difference in texture. Okay, I'll set this aside for now. It's so nice. The cover is very nice. It's like smooth, but still has a little bit of texture. And then there's the Moleskine embossed name at the bottom there. Ah, I will have to write my name in here after I'm done. So I'm spending so much time looking at the stuff, and I want to get going on actual Inktober drawings. I think maybe, I don't know how the, I'm considering, so this page is like glued to this page. It's not really showing. So like you see this little bit right here. That bothers me to draw on this. But if I do it on this side, then I can keep it flat. So maybe I will, I gotta keep in mind that I just have an hour to stream, so I don't want to do too big of a drawing because that'll just take too long. But it could be nice to do a double page spread. That would be really cool to open. Open to another one. Ooh, full thing. But sketching is tough. Then again, okay, I'm thinking to myself out loud, so that's what's happening right now. Let's see. This is a kind of odd, small space. Then again, I could just keep it in here. It doesn't have to fill up the whole page. I could just do something like this. Let's see, how many pages? That'll be something to consider. So Inktober52 is 52 prompts. I'm sure there's 52 pages in here. Oh look, there's something in the back. I've got one of these back pockets. What's in here? Ugh, it was stuck. That's cool when they include these little back pockets. I think this is what usually comes with the Moleskine stuff, this little story of Moleskine. Yeah, I'll just put that back. What the heck is this? Quality control. So I guess that proves that it was checked. Okay, put that back in there. Doesn't say how many pages it is. How many pages it is. But I imagine it's a common number, like 128 or something. There's quite a bit, so I don't need to worry about saving pages. I'm considering, I guess something I could do first is test all these materials to see how they work, including testing this. So let's see, I still can't decide. I think I'll just leave this blank, and this will be my test page. So this is the middle size. What's this one? A middle thin. Fine, that's the English word. I don't know how to read this, but I know what it means, this second kanji, but this first kanji means middle, and this one says middle on it. So this one is the bigger. Alright, let's see. Well, they're pretty freaking close. Well. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. I'm learning. This one is double-ended. Hooray! So I guess these are the same on the one side. So maybe I'll use this one for filling in. If I want to fill in with black. And then this one could be for lining if I want to line with brush, because this is a tiny brush on one end and a middle sized. So that's why it says middle and then there's a dot and then it says fine, because it's mid-sized, then the middle of the pen, and then fine on the bottom. Okay, so let's try that out then. Here is the mid-size. Dang, it's already kind of dry. Well, that's what I've got to work with, so I'm going to just make it work. And here's the fine size. Yeah, the fine size is more juicy, though still pretty dry, or at least this paper is making it have a dry brush technique. So then, to test this one, I'm going to make a circle. Let's fill it in. It's also kind of dry. Maybe it just doesn't like this paper. Well, that's just going to be a characteristic of these Inktober52 drawings. I guess I'll just use this kit this year, and then next year I'll pick something else. Okay, so there's those two. Let's try, so we'll go from, I like starting with the black though, so I'll work from the middle to the outside. So here's these, what are they calling them? Fine liners. Nice black one. So that's nice because I can have a really thin line too if I want it. Here's gray. And purple. I don't know if these are the official names. I'm just making, oh, it is. It says purple right on there. Purple. Now I know they have official names. I'll try a look at them. This one says dark blue. This is a nice color palette. I like seeing them on the page together. They look even more nice than in this package. This one is called Deep Pink. Okay, let's do the mild liner. So with mild liners, there's a couple types, but it looks like these are the chisel tip with fine tip. There's also a brush tip one, and I think the brush tip is instead of the chisel tip, but I can't remember. Does this have the name of the ink on it? Dark gray. So dark gray chisel and dark gray bullet. And this is just gray. Oops, I used the pointy side. Wow, it almost looks green next to that one. Next color is, I'm guessing, lavender. Nope, it's violet. Actually, I kind of like using the tip. That's where you can get with the tip, and here's the chisel side. A couple more colors. Yeah, they're pretty much chosen to match, it looks like. This one's called... This one's lavender. Aw. And the final color is magenta. Okay, so the last thing to test, which is the thing I'm most interested to see how it reacts on this paper, are these color sheets. So I'm just gonna get the main things out. And I'll use this because it came with it, and then it makes it easy. I don't have to decide on brushes. It's another decision already made for me. But I'm going to have to step out for a second because this does not have any water in it. So I will be right back. Ooh. My puppies got up. They're like, where'd you go? Don't worry, puppies. I'm back. Okay. Nice and full of water. Let's see how well these work. I also suppose I should see what the water is like on the ink. Because if it smears the ink, that's another thing that would make me not want to use these watercolors as part of my Inktober kit this year. Okay, I think it's wet. Oh yeah, I don't think I can use it. It's already, the brush isn't, okay, there we go. Just a nice drip. Yeah, it's definitely moving the ink around. So, interestingly, the problem is not really can the sketchbook handle the watercolor, the ink can't handle the watercolor, so the black ink from these brush pens. Now I'm just cleaning that ink out of this brush because I don't want to leave it in there. There. Well, that's all right because these, although they're super cool, this is a bit far from Inktober, unless they're, no, it says watercolors right there. Maybe if it was like dry ink that gets activated with water, that would be closer, but anyway, it's not going to work with these pens. So I will just put this away and I'll use it for something else, I'm sure. In fact, I'll probably put it on my Lucky Dip list, and then that way it might get pulled for a Lucky Dip. Actually, I'm going to make a note of that right now. I think that's a great idea. Before I forget. Where's the pen? Add to Lucky Dip list. Yep, you guys get to see live my most boring work stuff. Putting sticky notes on things so I don't forget later. Okay. I just want to make sure this is dry. It's still a little bit damp. There is one more thing that I am going to let myself use, even though it's not part of this kit. It's not like I'm the one making the rules here, so I'm using this kit, plus I want a pencil, so I think it might be cool. I don't use them very much, even though they're like the nicest pencils ever. I think I'm going to use Blackwing pencils. And then that way I have an excuse when I use them up, you know, when I sharpen them down, because they are a wooden pencil. I got the special Blackwing metal pencil cap and everything. So I guess I'm gonna, a little sharpening thing came off. Anyway, they come out with special edition ones, so this was like a Stratocaster one or something. It was like based on a guitar, and they made this design. And these pencils are cool because you can replace the eraser with these. And so it's this really long eraser too, so you can pull it out once you use it up, and then when you put it back in, it'll hold it tightly. So I really like the design of these, but I don't use wooden pencils that often. I usually go for mechanical pencils. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to use wooden pencils more often. Ooh, my laundry is done. It's gonna have to wait until I'm done drawing though. Use pencils and use wooden pencils and use them up, because I've actually got quite a few Blackwing pencils since I keep getting them in Art Snacks and stuff. I don't get Art Snacks anymore, but it's been enough. So I need a sharpener. Where's a sharpener? I'll use this one. I like this long point sharpener for these pencils, because then it gives them a long point. So it's, I don't know, it feels like it lasts longer before I need to sharpen again. Hey, I have those pens too. Right, because I gave these to you, right? Pretty sure I did, because they gave us extras at the Inktober retreat. Oh, I'll make it more entertaining by sharpening on camera. So this is a cool system. It has the first slot, and then it makes it like super crazy long, but it's blunt. And so if you just want to fill in and you don't want sharp lines, actually you don't have to go on to the second point, because now you've just got a really nice super long graphite, and you can like fill in big areas really quick. But I do one more sharp point, so then you put it in the second slot and you can make it nice and sharp. Bam. Deadly sharp. So I'll just keep this with this kit stuff. And this cap here. So hopefully by now, just getting these little eraser things. Okay. This is dry, so let's see. I'll use the pencil to write what all these things are. So, zebra, fude, sign. I can't read the other mom. Let's see. Maji uma? No, shima uma. Double-ended. Brush pen. Okay. I'll write it this way. Zebra, double-ended brush. And this one is just sign pen. What does it say on the packaging? This is medium tip brush pen. Okay. Zebra, medium tip brush pen. Then we've got this, I'll just write Zebra Creative Starter Set. Yay! I guess I'll write the name of the pencil too. Blackwing. Palomino. I said that backwards. I'm pretty sure Palomino is the brand and Blackwing is the... I don't know. It says Palomino Blackwing here, so... Okay, so the first... Man, I was late getting prepped because I had to change my charity for the month and all this stuff, and so I was late getting started on my stream, and now there's still stuff to do. Like, look at these art supplies. Oh, look at this, it has a nice little, what is this called? Bookmark? So that I can remember where I am each time. Man, it feels like a cool idea, but I don't know about drawing across the middle because these little strings are going to get in the way. And maybe they won't get in the way here. I feel like it would be cool to go across both pages. If I make it smaller. Still thinking about what I want to do. Well, that's what happens with the very first stream of the year. Figuring stuff out. Okay, so the first prompt for Inktober52 is build. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be week 1, which was last week, but they haven't sent out the next prompt, so I'm just going to do the first week's prompt. So what I was thinking was something super simple. I also wanted to continue my theme that I was doing for Inktober last year, which was have it be a griffin somehow. Have a griffin involved or present or something. So what came to mind when I was thinking griffin and build was a griffin, like building a brick wall. Like really, really simple. Maybe I'll even do, instead of a brick wall, I'll do like a stone, like random stones that fit together good. There's a certain name for that kind of wall building, I think. But I'm just thinking about, I've spent so much time like testing out these materials and figuring out what I want to do, and now there's like hardly any time left. Got started late, so there's half an hour left. Like, what can I do in half an hour? So, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll have a griffin like holding a stone, about to set it down on a wall that's being built. So let's see, if the wall, let's say the wall is being built from this way over this way, and it's just like random stones, maybe not random, but they're not all they're not like bricks where they're all the same size. They're like, oh, this stone fits here, and here's another one that fits here, whatever. And so I'm thinking the wall gets shorter and shorter because they go through and make a level, and they go through and make a level. That's what I'm thinking. So they're trying to make it this height. And then here's the ground. There'll be some grass or something. They're building it in a meadow, I guess. Oh, thank you, Exie. It's all fine. You got this. Yeah, this is great practice for me. I am still not that great at getting stuff done quickly, so good practice. Good practice for me. Okay, so now I've got the ground, and let's see. We don't have to have the griffin all the way in. I'm gonna have the griffin like right here, and so here's an arm and an elbow, and here's another arm, and holding a stone, but you're setting it, so maybe not under because you smash your hands, so having the hands like this. I'm doing this on purpose, not just to show you guys, but because I want to see, so the hand is straight up and down. Okay, and then bird feet aren't quite the same as people feet, but a griffin isn't in nature, so I'll do what I think works. Sort of base it off of a human hand, but just have 3 fingers and then the thumb finger, because most birds have 4, 3 in the front and 1 either like on the side or behind so that they can grab stuff or whatever. So here is the rock that they're holding. And then, so we've got this, and here's the shoulder. Here's the other shoulder. And then the head. They'll be watching what they're doing. I don't know what kind of griffin. It'll just be a generic griffin because I'm kind of rushing. So, it's a generic griffin. Okay, hold on. I gotta stand up so I can see what my head would be doing. Yeah, my head would be curving down. So we've got the spine, and it's going to be curving like this. And here's skull, and here's where the beak is coming out, and then the eye, and then wings will be coming out. But I don't think they will be furled because there's no reason for the wings to be out for this job. Okay, and then the wings have lots of layers. So there's like this layer here. Thanks to my pigeons, I'm really, I mean, drawing it is a different thing, but I'm really starting to see how wings are layered and stuff. Just in general, of course, different birds are different, but this is a generic griffin, so it's perfect to just have it in general. Okay, so if this is the chest, I still need to draw these, even though I'm not going to ink them. I still need to draw these lines here so that I can see where the different parts of the body would, the ones that would be showing where they make sense to be placed. So this is coming down, and then maybe the hips are here. And if the hips are here, here comes the thigh out like this. And this is the knee, and here's the bottom part of the leg. And now this will be like a lion because it's just a generic griffin. And I'm not that great with lions, but something like this probably with a big foot. And then here's their toes. I think lions probably have 4 toes. I'm starting to get confused. I'm drawing a little too much. Okay, that's good. And then the wings are just, the wings need to be really big to support such a big creature. So I'm going to have them going all the way off the page. Oh, I'm quite happy with this. I mean, maybe this could be a little different, but I'm just going to leave it for now. It's my very first one. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just want to get it done. So if I were to redraw this, I would turn it. Because right now it's straight on. I would turn it like this. But this is good enough to be starting with. So, and then the tail won't be seen because it would, I'm sure that setting down a heavy rock, the tail would be up to support, to be a counterbalance. So it's just going to be whoop, up like this. So we won't see that one. Okay, I think this is good. I'm going to do a few feathers up here, just for a little texture on the top of the head. Okay, so I only have really basic stuff here. I'm going to try to make this hand a little bit more detailed now. And this is a bird hand, so it'll be very thin here. It'll have this armor-like scales on it. And then here's the thumb. And we'll give it a nice long talon. And then we won't see the talons on the other fingers because they'll be wrapping around. There, that's probably pretty good. And then the feathers will start to come down at this point and cover the arm. So this is feathers. Yeah, okay. That's good. I can probably use ink to, let's see. I'm thinking of something. Now, let's not make it too complicated. I was thinking, like, should I draw a pile of rocks over here, like it's pulling the rocks from over here, but I think this is good, and I like how it goes down like this. So I'm going to call this sketch good. I really do like these pencils. These Blackwing pencils are so nice. I'm really glad that I thought of a reason to use them, or an application. Yeah, an application. Because I don't think I'm going to erase the pencil. I'm just going to leave it, and that's just going to be part of the deal. So I will start with inking using the, no, but that'll be slow. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm going to go with the middle size that I have among inking tools. Just a little side note, I love how both of these post. So the caps post on this double-ended pen. Not all of the double-ended pens I've ever used, the caps post onto each other. So I think it's excellent when they do. So you can take the cap off of the small end and stick it on the cap of the big end. And then you can take the cap off the big end and post it on the cap of the small end. That's very good design. I like that. Okay, so I'm trying to find the balance between speed but also getting the lines that I want. I wanted to start with this smallest black fine liner pen, but that's going to take way longer to cover so much. So I think that this smaller brush pen will work better because I won't have to go over stuff again so much, and I can still use the fine liner pen for some little small details. So plus these brush pens are great for doing feathers because they just do these lovely tapered lines that just lend themselves to drawing feathers. Okay, and now big long lines for the big I don't know the names of the different feathers, but the big feathers. And then here, so the feathers cover the back, but you can still see some of the back coming through, I think, here. So, and then here's these long feathers on this side. And the lion, leg, knee. I'm going to do just a little line on each end to look like a claw. And the only part of the thigh really showing is the line on the bottom. And the arm. I want to make the hand look really bony like a bird hand tends to be. But they've still got these like scaly armor. It looks like armor. And then here's the one talon that we get to see. Okay, now I'll do its head. I like how the texture on this book swings so easily. I've got this plastic mat on my, like, vinyl mat on my drafting table, and sometimes stuff sticks to it and it's really annoying, but this is just like, wee. So it's very handy because it's always easier to ink, especially with a brush pen when you can move the page around. Satoita says, pretty wings. Thank you. Yeah, regardless of whether they are anatomically accurate, I feel like I've gotten pretty good at just making wings that are recognizable as such, which sometimes is all you need. There. Okay. Now, what size should I use? I'll use the same size line. I'm going to go through and make all the stones, and I'm going to use these sort of, I don't know how to explain what I'm doing. These lines that are all like uneven thickness. Man, my words are failing me. But I want to do that to give it like an organic feeling. But I also want to use thicker lines on the bottom because that helps give it a sense of weight. Like there's a shadow or like the gravity is pulling it down or something. Satuisa says, yeah, just like with foliage, just need the indication, not exact copies. Yeah. That's something that I learned from the Inktober retreat. I mean, I still think I would go for a bit more anatomical accuracy in my final illustrations on for my books, but it doesn't have to be that way for every single thing that I do. Okay, trying to make this look like a fence built out of rocks that have been carefully selected and chosen to because they fit together just perfect. Yeah, I guess working around this string in the middle isn't too bad, actually. I wasn't sure, but... Okay, at the bottom, I want it to look like there's the grass growing up in some places. The rock wall can be covering the grass in other places, too. So sometimes the grass is the one you see, and sometimes the rock has just... the grass has not grown up around it yet, or something like that. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Okay, back over to this part of the rock wall. Haha, it's coming out nice, I think. I think it's looking like a rock wall. Yeah, that's probably good. And I did have just some, I'll turn this upside down again, some more lines indicating the grassiness of the ground. Okay, now I'm looking at this. Okay. I'm going to use this fine liner pen to do some hatching to show where the rocks are overlaying each other and casting a shadow. Or where this griffin is. So I'm imagining the light just coming kind of in this kind of direction, because then it would be lighting the griffin's face pretty well. So I'm just going to do some hatching for shading on the rock wall to start with. And also hatching to just show the shape of the rocks so that they're not all flat looking. And I like to leave a little bit of space sometimes between the bottom line of the rock or whatever it is and the hatching, and then that way that can sort of trick the eye into seeing reflected light, even though all it is just a bunch of lines, and it's not like shadow is actually made out of lines like this. But that's a little trick I like to use to get the look I'm going for when I'm using hatching for shading. And of course, putting the lines closer together is another way to use hatching. You can make the shadow look darker just by putting the lines closer together. Gotta hold the page down right here because it's sort of bouncing. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss any rocks as I move over, because if I do, it'll be harder for me later to notice until like I say that I'm done and then I put it away and then I look at it the next day or whatever and I'm like, no, how did I miss that? But it's too late. I have other stuff to do, and then I just have to live with it. I mean, I guess that's good practice for me too. Learn to live with it. But if I can prevent it, and I'll feel more happy about the overall result. Or at least if I do such a job that I don't notice any little things like that, then that's just as good. Okay, other than the one it's holding, I think this side is done. Whoops, I smeared those lines. Oh, yep, it's right on my side of my dang hand. Oh well, that's okay. Inktober's just about practice. Practice, practice, practice. Including practicing not smudging my hand on the lines. Every time I do it, I'll get better at not doing it anymore. I'm trying to give the wall a sense of it might be a little bit wider at the bottom, because then that helps like hold the rocks in place. Because if it was wider at the top, it would feel really like it could tumble over. So I'm just keeping that in mind as I shade these rocks, because the shading helps place them in like relative to each other. So doing dark shading will make a part of a rock look like it's behind another rock, and then that's what makes it look like it's wider here or deeper there. That's just the kind of stuff I'm thinking as I go along here. And then of course there's just the shape of the rock as well, so if it's sticking out roundly, then the bottom part would have more shadow on it and stuff like that. And on these big ones, adding little hatching just for texture as well. There's so much you can do with hatching. I love hatching. It takes a little while to figure out how to get it to do what you want, but I think it's such a wonderful visual tool. I really like using it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Just looking over it. Something I want to do, because I've got a few lines, especially this one right here, where it's just so thick. And it kind of stands out, like this part right here and maybe this part right here really stand out for some reason. So I want to make it so that it's not just like one little dark spot right here. So I'm going to add a little bit more using this pen again, so that it looks like more organic placement of spots that are super dark. And it's doing a nice job making the rock wall look like actual stacked rocks. I don't want to put them everywhere, just in enough places that it doesn't feel contrived, or I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to do, but I think it's working. I think what I'm trying to do is working. Because there's like more of these spots kind of randomly here and there, indicating where you can see in between these rocks so far that there's no light reaching in that spot. I think I will also do a few more over this side, because for one, I feel like it would keep the eye over here, because I don't want, that's something about this one that was just like drawing your attention, and it wasn't like, what, there was nothing special about it. Oh. Something just happened on my speaker. Stop!
I have a reminder for Mika.
Oh. What is it? Well, my speaker had a reminder for me, but it didn't tell me what it was. I'll look at it later. I didn't know that it would actually like ring on the speaker like that. That was interesting. Anyway, I'm adding more on this side to keep the attention on the Gryphon, because this is just supporting material. Yeah, maybe in order for me to, because I am actually at 1 hour of live streaming now. So I think I'll just keep this black and white, and I won't use any of the colors this time. Another reason why I wanted to put more black over here, more of these little deep black spots, is because there might be more of them anyway, because the Gryphon is sort of blocking the light. I'm looking over at my monitor over there because it helps me see it from very far away. The teeny tiny little screen with my drawing is like this big on it. And it really helps to see what is happening overall to look at the monitor rather than look at this. This is good for seeing the details. Okay, there is something I want to do. I don't want to take it too far. I'll just go for it. I'm going to outline this part, or at least make it a little darker, because it's sort of fading into the background. So I'm just going to use this same small size. And I'm not even trying to match. It's just going to look like even more texture. I'm not trying to match the lines I already made exactly. But just go over them again so that this stands out more from this vague background that I've got going on over here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little something similar here, but just make this line on the bottom of this rock heavier. Maybe even more. Actually, there. Okay, now back to the fine liner for some of the same hatching on this stone. Wait, I want to do it the same direction. That's another thing with hatching. Making them all the same direction, if possible, is usually the best way to go about it. Not always, though. Sometimes following the curve is actually better, because then it will give it a sense of having a rounder shape. Let's see. We'll have a little bit of shadow coming out where the hand is holding it. I want to make this Gryphon's claw actually black. Leave a little bit to be a shiny part on it, and I also make it sharper. I want it to be sharper. Okay, so now let's do some hatching on the actual Gryphon. And this is where I won't do, so with the wall, doing them all the same helps make it look like the wall is one big unit. But with the Gryphon, I'll curve it to, like I said, show the shape of the whatever part I'm doing the hatching on. Show the curve of the leg or whatever. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out what, I think I'll do it like this. trying to shade the wings to give them some shape. And instead of shading each individual feather, it's faster and overall more effective to just shade the whole unit, like as if the wing is just one big thing. That's something that I learned a long time ago when I first started drawing. And I would like shade every individual thing, and then I would be like, why does it look so weird? Maybe one thing I will do is just add a little marker to the areas that I want to look like it's darker than the rest. Like, so this leathery stuff that their arms are made of, and then the beak. Yeah, I feel like I'm remembering that, oh, this isn't a lucky dip. I don't have to use everything in this kit. It's just that everything is available for me. And maybe something I'll add to my kit, too. Although, this paper isn't white, but I was thinking of adding a white gel pen or something. But maybe I'll just try to. So I left a little bit uncolored. I'll just try to let the paper be the highlight and remember to leave it uncolored. So anything else that I want to... I wonder if it would be too much if I color in the rock wall with this light gray. And look at my swatch. I'll just go for it. Let's see. Let's see how it works. Well, hopefully it doesn't smear the ink too much. We'll see how it works. It is smearing a little bit. But that's okay, because this is rocks, so that just adds to the rock-like texture. See, I can't help myself. I'm already way past my streaming time. But I'm having fun with this, so I don't want to stop until I'm done. But this will be the last thing. And here, I think I'll even leave some areas of highlight on the rock so that this will stand out as a rock that has not been placed yet. So it's not about literally whether it would have highlights or not, but just that it helps it look different from the other rocks to tell the story. The other rocks, even if they would have highlights, I think most of them I will not bother with leaving any room for highlights because they have been placed. So it's almost like in a video game where something gets locked in and then it changes color. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in my mind anyway. But also, I'm not too concerned about really even coloring on these because I like that it's adding to the rock idea, making it look like rocks even more. Oh, thank you. Exie says, it's looking really great. I was working, couldn't see it until yet. Truly loved it. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Wow, everybody's working right now. Good job. Do you mind me asking what you're working on? You don't have to say. If you don't want to say, let's just ignore that question. After this, I'm going to try to do my JLPT studies. Today was supposed to be my first day doing an hour of study a day, and I didn't get around to it. So I'm thinking after this, I'll get my books out. Well, a book. I will pick a JLPT subject. I was thinking I'd start with reading, because reading covers a lot of things all at once, and it's all in context, so like grammar, kanji, vocabulary. And I was thinking reading instead of listening, because I can take my time. The listening practice is so fast that I have to keep listening over and over, and it's kind of difficult because I don't know all the words, and so it makes it harder. Listening might actually be one of the last things that I do, because then I'll have all the vocabulary, so I won't be confused by words I don't know. Almost done. Yeah, these are actually really nice for coloring, these mild liners. I've never used them for coloring before. Oh, cool. Was just working on a Redbubble account to sell print-on-demand stuff. Nice. What kind of stuff are you gonna sell? Is it related to your magical endeavors? Or is it a new project? I remember you were doing those cool 3D letters too. I don't know if that's something you sell on Redbubble though. Now I'm just adding a little, I know I keep saying I'm going to be done, but I'm adding a little extra in between where the rocks are, because I'm noticing that it's kind of highlighty because I didn't color quite as much right where the rocks meet, and then it's like having an opposite effect. Instead of looking like there's shadows, it looks like there's highlights where shadows should be. So now I'm just like going over the areas where rocks are meeting so that it's not too light. Oh, hello. Disarray, Captain Disarray. I don't know if that's what you mean to be called, but it looks like Captain Disarray to me. Nice tats. Thanks. Thank you. It's my Gyakuten Saiban sleeve. My otaku arm. Well, all my tattoos are otaku tattoos, but thank you. Also, thank you for joining me. First time chat. I'm sorry, I'm almost done. Exie says, nothing to do with anything. Ah, okay. Just for having kind of passive income if I can. Yeah, it's so good when it works out, and then, you know, someone bought a t-shirt or something. Heck yeah. And you don't have to monitor it all the time. It's just there. Set it and forget it. And then since I did a little extra on all those other rocks, I'm going to do a little extra on this too. Boom! Oh, I don't know if that was audible, but my big dog Aoife just did a big yawn, and she went, ooh. So that was pretty cute. Since this gray, it's just called gray, but it's got a nice green tint to it. Oh, it's just not really coming through on the camera. It's so interesting. On the camera, it just looked like gray, but to my eyes, in real life, it has like a green tint. So I'm going to actually use the fine side to add a little just some little extra sprigs to this stuff that's meant to indicate grass, and then so it doesn't feel like separate from all the, because now the rocks have this big presence. Oh yeah. Woohoo! I think I'm done. I'm just gonna sign it. I think I'll sign it in the wall. I gotta remember 2023. My first any sort of art thing at all of the year. Hooray! Okay, here's a close-up look of what I did today for, I guess I'll write on it later. I'm gonna write Inktober52. The prompt, first prompt is build, and my personal theme for all my Inktober since last year is Gryphons. So here is a Gryphon building a stone fence. So here's little details, and I like leaving the pencil in there too. It has a nice interesting texture. And also, it wasn't as bad as I feared using the full spread. Actually, I really like it because it was going to be really hard to compose within just this small space, whether this way or this way. And so this way I have a lot of room to work, and even if I want to work smaller or taller or shorter, there's still like so much leeway to choose. It's perfect. Oh, thank you. Wow. For my first Inktober of the year, Inktober52. It's perfect. Exie is very, very nice to me. Okay. Well, I am well over my streaming window, so it's time to wrap it up. I'll be back on Wednesday, as usual, for a Lucky Dip, and on Friday again for another Chibi Friday. So hopefully I'll see some of you there. But at the very least, it was great to talk to you today for my very first stream of the year. So that's it. Thank you for watching.